Hmm. I seem to be having a problem. It's not seeing my camera, my webcam. Give me a sec, guys. Aha! Victory! Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Hey, you guys. Hey, Hope. Patrick. Hey, Leslie Ann. Nikki, welcome back. Hey, Katie. What's up, Losh? Why is everyone saying Happy New Year? What is in your window? What do you mean? Like that window? It's just a window. All right. Hey guys, how you guys doing? All right. Update on the monster in the attic saga. So I still haven't caught anything. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's up there, and sometimes that little creature is. Sometimes I hear it, and sometimes I don't hear it. But there is an update. I did go outside of my house and looked around to see if there are any entryways that maybe some animals may have gotten into the attic. And I did see there was a metal grate like underneath in the eave of my roof, and it was a little bit bent, right? It was bent inwards, like something has shoved it in. So it makes a hole that I think a squirrel can squeeze through. So I think it's a squirrel, okay? And it's been going in and out of my roof. So yeah, I kind of closed that. I think I need to replace that. But I kind of closed it. And hopefully that that stops it from coming in. Well, we'll see. You are good, but you're slowly losing your sanity. Why? Because you've been staying in because of the lockdown? Yeah, I hear you, brother. I did. So I did put I did put a trap up there. But I didn't know what animal it was, so I use dried shrimp as the bait. And I don't think if it was a squirrel, then it probably wouldn't like dried shrimp. If I wanted to catch a squirrel, then I would use peanuts or something, which I have. Um, but hopefully it doesn't come back in. I gotta replace that metal grate. I think that's how it's getting in. So yeah. All right. So I want to thank Hope from the chat because she sent me some food, like a bunch of food, a bunch of snacks. Remember we were running out of snacks? But yeah. So she sent me this. Ooh, oops. It's coconut pandan mochi, which sounds really good. Use dried squirrel. Well, I'm hoping that it's outside now because I think it's going in and out. but I kind of closed it, so it's kind of hard to get in. I don't know. Hopefully the squirrel doesn't get in, and yeah, if it doesn't get back in, then we don't have to trap it, right? All right, let's open this stuff. I love mochi. Oh shit, it looks so good. Gonna use my huge biceps. Nope, that's not working. Okay. Hopefully I don't make a mess. Yeah. Yep. Almost got it. Oof. Mess has been made. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Alright, I'll grab one. This is coconut and pandan leaf flavor. Sounds really good. Alright. Here you go. Usually I would pop it all into my mouth, but we want to see what's in the center, right? Mm. Mm. Can it focus? I guess not. There you go. Oh, you guys, they're so good. I love coconut. And that pandan flavor is awesome. Oh. There you go. Thank you, Hope, for setting that in. Alright. I'm making a mess. Alright. Yeah, who likes durian? Ew. Durian smells nasty. Okay. And then I got some tea with me. This is genmaicha tea. Genmaicha. It's like Japanese rice wine with matcha powder. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I don't choke like last time. You weren't here last time. I choked and I was like coughing for 5 minutes. The smell of durian is like gas station? No, gas stations smell much better than durian. I don't know. That gas station smell is actually not bad. What's up, Bigfoot? How's it going? Alright. You guys ready? A lot of shit happened last time. The tea is not poisoned. No, Nikki. Why do you say that? Alright. You ready? What happened last time? Last chapter. So last time, remember, Ling Hu Chong is still on the mountain, right? He's still in the middle of his punishment. So then one day, the master and the master wife and some of the students visit him on top of the mountain, and the master revealed that he wanted to teach, that he wants to teach Ling Hu Chong the divine arts of violet twilight, which is like this chi technique where you use. It's really powerful. These really powerful techniques where you can use your chi to overpower the enemy, right? So these really powerful techniques based on your chi, and he wants to see Ling Hu Chong spar with the master wife to see what his level is at, to see if he's at a high enough level for him to be taught this divine art of violet twilight. So he spars with the master wife, Madame Yue, but the problem is that Ling Hu Chong, remember, he saw all those carvings in the cave of all those martial arts. And he knows that all of the martial arts that he uses, all the Huashan martial arts, has weaknesses, has profound weaknesses and ways to defeat them. So he's flustered, and because every time he uses a move, he automatically remembers the counter move that would defeat his move, right? So he would use a move, and then halfway he would stop, and he would defend again, right? So he would never follow through with any of his moves, and the master becomes frustrated with, like, what the hell is this guy doing? And the master wife, who's sparring with him, also becomes frustrated. And in the middle, she becomes really frustrated, and she uses this powerful move that would seriously injure Ling Hu Chong if he didn't do anything about it. So in this moment of danger from this strong attack, Ling Hu Chong uses one of the moves, or one of the counter moves, he saw in the cave, right? And he takes up his sheath, and as the Madame Yue is striking, right? As Madame Yue is striking with her sword straight forward, he takes his sheath, and he actually puts her sword through his sheath, right? So sword's coming, he takes his sheath, and he puts her sword through his sheath, and he basically disarms her, right? And he attacks her back with the same sword, with the hilt of her sword, right? So he captures her sword, and then he attacks her back. And that was a surprise to everyone, especially the master. And the master jumps in and he stops it, right? And he breaks the sword. And he goes, and he starts yelling. I think he slaps Ling Hu Chong. And he starts yelling at him, and he's saying, Ling Hu Chong, you've just performed an evil move, a move from the evil side of martial arts. And then the master tells the secret history of the Huashan Sword School, right? He sits everyone down, all the students, and he tells the history of the Huashan School. This history was has never been revealed to anyone outside of the school. Okay, and it happened when the master and master wife were really young in the school, and way back then, the Huashan School was the strongest school in the Five Mountains Sword Alliance, right? That alliance of 5 schools. Huashan was the most powerful school, but Huashan was having issues with the people, the students inside the school, because the school was split into 2 factions, right? On the one hand, you had the Chi faction, and on the other side, you have the Sword faction. So the Chi faction is their philosophy is that their your inner energy, is the most important thing in martial arts, right? And your sword art, your sword skills, like the sword techniques, are secondary to your chi, right? So for them, the focus is, you have to focus on cultivating your chi, so that it's really powerful, and that makes your sword techniques even more powerful. by imbuing it with your chi, right? But on the other hand, you have the sword faction, the sword branch of the Huashan school, and they believe the opposite. They think that chi is secondary, and the most important thing is your sword techniques, right? What kind of moves you're doing with the sword. So this group has a lot of flashy sword moves, but their chi is not as powerful as the people from the chi branch. And the thing is, both branches hate each other, and both branches think they are the good. They are the goods. They are part of the good side of the martial arts, and the other branch are on the evil side of martial arts, right? Now, what the master tells us is that, well, actually, he's part of the chi branch, right? And the master tells us the chi branch is the actual good branch, and the sword branch is the evil branch, because chi over time chi overpowers sword. So he's saying that, yeah, in the beginning, if you're just learning sword techniques, you actually are more powerful than the people who are learning chi techniques. Okay, because it takes a long time to cultivate your chi, right? So he's saying like, if two people enter the school and then they start training, right? If one person trains his chi and the other person trains his sword, after 10 years, the sword person would defeat the chi person, right? But he says after 20 years, they would be about at the same level. But after that, the chi branch would gradually become more powerful. The chi person would gradually become more powerful than the sword person. But so he's saying after 20 years of training, you'll see that the chi branch is more powerful, and therefore we're the better branch, right? We're the right branch. And and so there are these two factions in the school, and with differing philosophies, and then then a civil war happens in the Huashan school, and they have a huge fight. And at the end of the fight, the chi branch wins. Okay, and the sword branch are either all wiped out, destroyed, or they've run away. Right, and they've exited the school. They've run away from the school, and they're living somewhere we don't know. So the chi branch won. But the problem is, this civil war devastated the Huashan school. A bunch of people died. Okay, even though the Chi branch, even though they won, a bunch of the people in the Chi branch also died. So the school was devastated, and they were no longer the most powerful school in the alliance. Okay. So that happened like what 25 years ago or something, and so the master tells everyone this. Ling Hu Cheng realizes that he is wrong. Okay, and then he realizes that he thinks that, oh yeah, okay, so yeah, those techniques that he saw in the cave, even though they were really good techniques, if he develops his chi enough, he would be able to defeat even those techniques. Right, those techniques would not be able to defeat his moves because his chi is so strong. So he realizes this. He realizes the error of his ways, and he accepts it. And then I think, so the master, at the end of the day, the master decides to delay teaching Ling Hu Cheng this divine art of Violet Twilight, these chi techniques, which are supposedly the most powerful techniques in the Huashan school. Okay, so they all leave, and Ling Hu Cheng is back alone on the mountain, and randomly, for some reason, the rapist Tian Bo Guang visits Ling Hu Cheng. Okay, so he visits Ling Hu Cheng. He runs up the mountain, and he's carrying 2 wine jars with like this really good wine, and they start drinking with each other and talking with each other. And Ling Hu Cheng's like, oh, he's conversing, he's drinking, and he's like, oh, this is really good wine, stuff like that. And then Ling Hu Cheng all of a sudden kicks the 2 wine jars down the mountain, right? And then that's yeah, he just kicks the 2 wine jars down the mountain, and that's where we ended last time. Okay, so that's the recap of what happened last time. How's that? Hope asks, is chi real? No. It's real in the movies and in the books, but not in real life. Sorry. At the beginning, sword is stronger. Yeah, at the beginning. So at the beginning, sword. If you're studying sword techniques, it's stronger than chi. Because I guess the idea is that chi takes a long time to develop, right? So at the beginning, if you're just learning your sword techniques, you'll beat the person who's just learning their chi techniques. But over time, this is what the master said. Over time, the chi techniques become stronger. Isn't chi from Atla? Chi is from a lot of things. Who won the merch contest? I haven't decided yet. I'll run it through the randomizer after this. Dun, dun, dun. Losh, you think chi is real? Because chi is basically energy, I guess. But I think like chi is supposed to come from your stomach or your diaphragm or somewhere in that part, and then you take it out and you use it. Like you divert it to your hands or something. That's totally in the book. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So let's get started with the next chapter. All right, chapter 9, Invitation, part 2. Why did you kick the wine jars down, brother Ling Hu? Tian Bo Guang asked in shock. Remember, Ling Hu Chang just kicked those wine jars down the mountain. Tian Bo Guang, Ling Hu Chang answered, we don't belong to the same sides of the society. If you have committed numerous crimes and harmed many innocent people. Everyone in the martial world hates your guts. I drank 3 bowls of wine with you because I think you are someone upright and not some kind of shameless, filthy scoundrel. Our relationship stops right here. You've brought me 2 jars of great wine, but even if you put all the precious jewels and treasures right in front of me, do you think you can buy Ling Hu Chang to be your friend? He yelled as he drew his longsword. Tian Bo Guang, let me try your fast knife chop moves one more time. Tian Po Guang didn't draw his knife. He shook his head with a slight smile on his face. Brother Ling Hu, your respectful school's sword art is brilliant, but you are still too young and haven't grasped the depth of it yet. Right now, with your sword skills, you are still no match for me. Ling Hu Chang thought for a second and then nodded in agreement. What you said is very true. Within the next 10 years, Ling Hu Chang would stand no chance of ever killing you, Brother Tian. With a loud clanking sound, he sent his longsword back into the sheath. Whosoever understands the times is a great man, Tian Bo Guang burst into loud laughter. Ling Hu Chang is only Ling Hu Chang is only a nobody in the martial world. I suppose you made nothing of hardships to Mount Huashan, not for the head on my neck. We are enemies, not friends. No matter what you want me to do, I won't do it, Ling Hu Chang announced. But you haven't even given yourself a chance to hear my proposal yet, Tian Bo Guang was amused. Precisely, Ling Hu Chang said. No matter what you propose, I won't agree. Since I can't beat you in a fight, I'd better lubricate my heels and have the run for it. Before the word even faded in the air, he had already turned around. the corner to the back of the cliff. Ling Huchang knew well that Tianpo Guang could run very fast. That was how he got his nickname, 10,000 Miles Loner. He had good knife skills, but there were plenty of people in the martial world who could beat him. He had been committing various crimes for the last 10 years or so, yet because he was always on good alert and had first-class Qinggong skills, during the several times when the chivalry side gathered a good amount of people to hunt him down, no one was even able to touch him. For this reason, when Ling Huchang started running, he ran with all his strength. Now remember, Tianpo Guang's claim to fame is that he can run really fast. Right? He has good Qinggong skills, which is like lightness techniques. So he can run and jump and do all of that stuff really fast, so he can get away from anyone. He thought he was fast, but Tianpo Guang was even faster. Only after Ling Huchang dashed out some 30 feet, he already found Tianpo Guang blocking the way in front of him. He turned around immediately, heading toward the front of the cliff, thinking that he might be able to jump down the cliff to the lower slope. But only after about 10 steps, Tianpo Guang had caught up with him again and blocked in front of him with his arms stretching out, laughing hectically. No chance of running away. I guess we'll have to pick a fight. Brother Tian, you can't blame me if I call for help now. Ling Huchang took 3 steps back and shouted. Well, Tianpo Guang said with a grin, if your respectful master can come, then it would be my turn to lubricate my heels and take the run for it. Too bad Mr. and Madame Yue are in eastern Shanxi right now, which is at least 150 miles away from here, and would have no chance of coming back to save you. You do have some apprentice brothers and sisters, but if they come up the cliff, none of them would make a decent opponent. All the guys would lose their lives for nothing, and all the girls, The tone of his laughter was filled with ill intention. Ling Huchang gasped. He thought to himself, the Cliff of Contemplation is far away from the Huashan Sword School's main hall. Even if I shout with all my might, the apprentice sisters and brothers and sisters probably still won't be able to hear a thing. This fellow is an infamous rapist. What if he bumped into little apprentice sister? Oh, that was a close call. Luckily, I wasn't able to run away earlier, or else Tianpo Guang would have gone to the main hall of the Huashan Sword School to look for me, for sure, and then naturally he would bump into little apprentice sister. If the pretty and lovely little apprentice sister had fallen into the evil rapist's hands, I deserve 10,000 deaths. He rolled his eyes and quickly made up his mind. Right now, the best thing to do, probably, is to muddle with him, perfunctory, and to stall him for more time. Hence, I can't take him by force. I'll have to take him by strategy. As long as I can stall him till master and master wife make it back to Mount Huashan, then everything would be fine. Fine. I can't win in a fight, nor can I run away, nor can I find any help. Ling Huchang put his hands out and shrugged, signaling that he had given up, and Tianpo Guang could do anything as he pleased. Brother Ling Hu, you have misunderstood me, and thought that I am here to give you trouble. It is actually something that will benefit you, in a good deal, and you will definitely thank me sincerely for that later, Tianpo Guang said with a broad smile. You have done many evil deeds and gained yourself a notorious reputation. Despite how beneficial this thing you speak about me is for me, I, Ling Huchang, will preserve my own purity and never wallow in the mire with you. Ling Huchang waved him off. I am the infamous evil rapist, but Brother Ling Hu is the proud disciple of the #1 gentleman in the martial world, Mr. Yue. Of course, you can't wallow in the mire with me. But if that's the case today, why not before? Tianpo Guang grinned. What do you mean, if that's the case today, why not before? Ling Huchang asked. In the Huaiyan wine house of Hangyang, Brother Ling Hu, you and I had the companionship of drinking on the same table, Tianpo Guang claimed. Ling Huchang is a big alcoholic. We were just having a couple of drinks together. It was nothing. In the Jade House of Hangshan, Brother Ling Hu, you and I had the same aesthetic pleasure of visiting prostitutes in the same brothel. Bah! Ling Huchang spit to the ground. At that time, I was severely wounded and had been rescued. I was just recovering in the Jade House, temporarily. What has that got anything to do with visiting prostitutes? But in the Jade House, didn't you have the great pleasure of sleeping with two gorgeous and lovely girls under the same quilt? Tian Boguang split into a big grin. Ling Hucheng felt a great shock in his heart. He yelled out loud, Tian Boguang, you better watch your mouth. I have a clean reputation, and those two girls are also as pure as crystal and jade. If you keep spilling out such filthy lies, I won't be so easy on you. What good does it do if you don't go easy on me today? If you want to uphold the clean reputation of the Huashan Sword School, you should have treated those two girls with some respect. Why did you get under the same quilt with those two girls and rubbed up and down in front of all those heroes of the Qincheng Sword School, Hangshang Sword School, and Hangshang Sword School, stopping at nothing? I can't do an evil laugh. Infuriated, Ling Hucheng threw a fist at him fiercely, which Tian Boguang easily dodged with a big grin. There's no good trying to deny it. If you hadn't gotten petty... Wait. It's no good trying to deny it. If you hadn't gotten petty advantages of those two little girls on the bed under the quilt, why would they all get love sickness for you today? Ling Hucheng thought to himself, this man is a shameless rascal. It is possible that anything would come out of his mouth. If I tangle myself with him in such an inexplicable way, who knows what more garbage is going to come out of his mouth. That day in Huayan Winehouse of Hangyang, he fell for my trick. That was the most galling shame and humiliation he has ever had in his entire life. It's the only thing I can use to shut him up. At that thought, instead of getting outraged, he smiled. I was wondering why did Brother Tian come such a long distance to Mount Huashan? Who would have thought that your master, the little nun Yilin, had sent you to bring 2 jars of great wine to me, thanking me for finding her such a well-behaved apprentice. Remember, Yilin, remember the bet that they made at the wine house was that Yilin was going to become his master, right? So Tian Boguang has to call Yilin his master. Tian Boguang flushed, but soon calmed down. The 2 jars of wine are tokens of my own regard, but my coming to Mount Huashan surely is related to little sister Yilin. Putting on a serious face, he said. Little sister? No. Isn't she your master now? What a true man says cannot be unsaid. Are you trying to go back on your own words? Apprentice Sister Yilin is an outstanding apprentice from a famous school. It was really your good fortune to have found such a master. Ha 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 ha. Tian Boguang was outraged. He grabbed onto his knife handle and almost drew the knife, but he pulled himself together and spoke coldly. Brother Ling Hu, you don't have good kung fu with your hands, but you surely have outstanding kung fu with your tongue. Since I am no match for you in a fight with sword, knife, punches, or kicks, all I can do is to take some petty advantage from you with my tongue, Brother Tian. Ling Hucheng grinned. In the fight with the tongue, I candidly admit my defeat. Brother Ling Hu, it's time for you to come with me now, Tian Boguang demanded. No way! I'm not going, even if I have to die, Ling Hucheng declared. Do you know where I am asking you to go to? Tian Boguang asked. I don't know, and I don't care. Either to go up the heavens or to go down to hell. Wherever Tian Boguang goes, Ling Hucheng won't go. Tian Boguang shook his head slowly. Brother Ling Hu, I am here to invite you to pay a visit to little sister Yilin, he said. You rascal, has Apprentice Sister Yilin fallen into your hands again? How dare you offend your superior and be so disrespectful to your own master? Ling Hucheng was shocked. Tian Boguang yelled angrily, My master is someone else. He had passed away many years ago. Don't you ever mix up little sister Yilin in this matter again. He paused for a moment to calm himself down and then said, Brother Ling Hu, little sister Yilin misses you very much. She thinks of you, days and nights. I consider you a friend. That's why I will never dare to be disrespectful to her again. You can relax. Shall we go now? I am not going. How many times do I have to repeat myself? 1,000 times? 10,000 times? Ling Hucheng claimed. Tian Boguang showed a slight smile but didn't say a word. What are you smiling about? Because your kung fu is better than mine, you think you'll just force your will upon me and take me down as a prisoner? Ling Hu Chong mocked. I have no hostility toward you, Brother Ling Hu, and really don't want to offend you in any way. But I surely don't want to set out in high spirits and return disappointed. Xiaobo Guang, you have excellent knife skills, and it would be a piece of cake for you to kill me or wound me. You can kill Ling Hu Chong, but you won't succeed in humiliating Ling Hu Chong. At most, I'll just let you take away my life. But to take me prisoner, so you can take me down Mount Huashan, that's absolutely impossible. I am just doing a favor for someone, inviting you to pay a visit to little sister Li Lin. That's the true and only intention. Why are you so uptight? Tian Boguang turned his head and eyed Ling Hu Chong from the corner of his eyes. If it's something I don't want to do, even my master wife, 5 Mountains Sworderline's chief, or the Emperor himself won't be able to force me, not mentioning you. Here's my final answer. I am not going. Even if I have to say it 10,000 times or 100,000 times, the answer is still the same, Ling Hu Chong said with determination. You are too stubborn. I am afraid I'll have to give offense now. With a loud clank, Tian Boguang drew his knife. Go with him? I don't know. Is he really telling the truth that Yilin wants him to come? Like he's saying he's under orders or something. Oh no. He's just saying he wants to have him come visit Yilin. But why would he do that? You have offended me at the very beginning when you planned to take me prisoner, Ling Hu Chong rebuffed angrily. I guess the cliff of contemplation on top of Mount Huashan is going to be the place where I depart this life. He let out a clear roar and also drew his sword. Tian Boguang took a step back and slightly frowned. Brother Ling Hu, we have neither scores to settle nor grudges between the two of us. Why do we have to fight in the expense of our lives? Why don't we have a bet? Ling Hu Chong secretly felt pleased. He thought to himself, a bet? That's perfect. If I lose, I can still argue my way out, even if I have to use some lame excuses. But instead, he said, what bet? If I win, I won't go, and if I lose, I won't go just the same. I see, Tian Boguang said with a smile. The head apprentice of the Huashan Sword School is so scared of Tian Boguang's fast knife chops, he doesn't even have the guts to take on 30 knife moves of mine. What am I scared of? What's the worst, me dying under your blade? So what? Ling Hu Chong mocked angrily. Brother Ling Hu, it's not that I look down upon you or anything, but I am afraid that you won't be able to fend off even 30 moves of my fast knife chops. As soon as you fend off 30 moves of my fast knife chops, I'll turn my butt around and get out of here right away. No more babbling. But if I get lucky and beat you within 30 moves, you'll have to come down the mountain with me and pay a little visit to little sister Yilin, Tian Boguang declared. In the instant, Ling Hu Chong had gone through Tian Boguang's knife moves once in his head. He thought, after the last 2 fights with him, I've pondered over all the powerful techniques of his fast knife chops many times, and on top of that, I've also asked Master and Master Wife about them. If all I need to do is to guard myself so I don't lose, couldn't I even fend off 30 moves of his? Fine, I'll see your 30 moves. Ling Hu Chong yelled as he thrust his sword toward Tian Boguang. He had used an advanced move of the Huashan sword art called Graceful Phoenix right at the beginning. The blade of his sword vibrated and made a buzzing sound as rays of reflection covered Tian Boguang's entire upper body. Nice sword move, Tian Boguang praised as he blocked it with his knife and took a step back. That's one, Ling Hu Chong shouted out, and immediately followed with another attack, Green Pine's welcoming guest. Another nice one, Tian Boguang praised again. He knew that there must be numerous additional techniques hidden in the move, so he dared not to fend it off with his knife, and simply dodged to the side in a slide. The dodge shouldn't really be counted as a move, but Ling Hu Chong immediately shouted, That's 2! Before the words even faded, he had already started another attacking move. Soon, Ling Hucheng had already launched 5 attacking moves continuously. Tianbo Guang either blocked them or dodged them, never starting his counterattack. Yet, Ling Hucheng had already counted up to number 5. When Ling Hucheng started his 6th move by thrusting his sword upward from a lower angle, Tianbo Guang gave a loud roar and brought his knife swishing down through the air. The knife and the sword clashed in the midair, and Ling Hucheng's longsword was knocked down instantly. 6th move, 7th move, 8th move, 9th move, 10th move, Tianbo Guang yelled out. Every time he counted 1, he would throw a chop at the same time. He counted 5 moves and he chopped 5 times. Every chop swished straight down through the air. He didn't even change his move at all. Each chop landed heavier than the previous one. When the 6th chop came down, Ling Hucheng felt that his entire body had been trapped in the energy stream from the blade slicing down, and he couldn't even breathe. But he gathered all the strength he could and blocked upwards anyway. With a loud clank, the knife and the sword smashed into each other. Ling Hucheng's arm instantly went numb, and the longsword fell from his hand and landed on the ground. Tianbo Guang threw another chop. Ling Hucheng simply closed his eyes and ignored it. How many moves now? Tianbo Guang asked, laughing loudly. Ling Hucheng opened his eyes and answered, not only your knife skills are better than mine, your arm strength and inner energy are also way better than mine. Ling Hucheng is no match for you. Then let's go, Tianbo Guang smiled in triumph. Nope, I am not going. Ling Hucheng shook his head again. Brother Ling Hu, I consider you a true man who keeps his own promises. You have lost within 30 moves. Why are you going back on your words? Tianbo Guang pulled a long face. At first, I didn't believe that you can beat me within 30 moves. Sure, I have lost, but I never said that I would go with you. If I lose to you, did I? Ling Hucheng argued. Did he? Tianbo Guang thought that it was really he himself who had said that, and Ling Hucheng surely never said anything close. So he placed his knife across in front of him, and with a sneer said, there's a character Hu in your name, and the name sure fits the person. Okay, you didn't say it, so what? So apparently the character Hu means fox. So Ling Hucheng is surely a fox. You can do song requests, but let's take a break, guys. Be right back. 5 minutes. I gotta find a song. I got it. Be right back. I'm back. That song was way too short. That wasn't 5 minutes. All right. Well, I guess we can't stop calling him a kitsune now. Ling Hucheng is our very own kitsune. I like him. Yeah, if you want to do a song request for the next break, go ahead. Maybe like a remix. Like if it's a popular song, maybe suggest a remix because we don't want to get the stream taken down. Song request Darwin's Chinese version of Creep. Oh, how do I search for that? Hope. Darwin Chinese Creep Radiohead. I do see that Mandarin version by Darwin. All right. Alright, that's the next break. Awesome. More snacks. Well, alright, I'm gonna finish this. Well, not, I'm gonna finish this, but I'm gonna eat another one of these. Because I think we've been going through snacks really fast. And that's not good. Not good for me. Not good for the environment. Not good for my blood sugar level. Ugh. Alright, here's another of that same mochi. Oh, so good. Mm. You're gonna fatten me up for winter? And then what? Eat me? That's not cool. Good shit. Have you guys seen the video where they make mochi? If you haven't, like, do yourself a favor and search it up. And look it up. It's pretty cool. Don't do it now. Like, do it after the stream. That's true. I am a cartoon. This is only my human costume. But I can still get diabetes. Cartoons can get diabetes, right? No reason why not. Alright, where were we? When I lost to you earlier, it was only because you had more strength than me. I am not giving in yet. Let me take a rest, then we can try again, Ling Huchong said. Fine. I'll wait till you admit you're lost yourself. Tian Boguang sat on a rock with his hands on his hips and looked at Ling Huchong with a big smile. Ling Huchong thought to himself, this villain is insisting on having me leave Mount Huashan. I wonder what kind of evil plan he has. The real reason must have nothing to do with paying a visit to apprentice sister Yi Lin. He isn't a real student of apprentice sister Yi Lin. And Yi Lin would be scared out of her wit as soon as she sees him. How could she ever maintain contacts with him? But he keeps pestering me at the moment. How can I get out of it? He remembered the 6 chops from Tian Boguang just a minute ago. Those chops had no special techniques to go with them, yet the power of the chops was tremendous, and he really had no idea how to fend them off. He suddenly got an idea. That night when great Mr. Mo killed great Songyang Palm, Fei Bin, in the remote valley, great Mr. Mo used the flashy and unpredictable Hangshang-style sword art. If I use that to fight Tian Boguang, I am sure I won't lose. There are many deadly moves around the Hangshang-style sword art, drawn on the rock wall in the back cave. If I go back there and learn some 30 or 40 moves, I should be able to put up a decent fight with Tian Boguang. Good idea, dude. But then he thought, Hangshang-style sword art is a fine and ingenious sword art. How can I master it in such a short time? Alas, that was just my wishful thinking. Seeing the fast-changing expression on Ling Huchong's face, in 1 minute being happy, but in the next minute looking totally worried, Tian Boguang grinned. Brother Ling Hu, have you thought of a cunning trick to defeat my knife moves? Hearing that Tian Guang raising his voice, specifically at the words cunning trick, Ling Hucheng's anger rose. There's no need for any cunning tricks just to defeat your knife moves. You are really being wordy and annoying here. I can't think well when you keep distracting me like that. I am going to go inside the cave now to think it through. Don't you come and disturb me. Fine, you go ahead and think real hard. I won't disturb you, Tian Guang agreed. Ling Hucheng noticed that Tian raised his voice again at the words real hard. He cursed in a whisper to himself and entered the cave. He lit a candle and then climbed back into the back cave. Wasting no time, he went straight to the side of the rock wall with drawings of Hangshang-style sword art. Seeing all the different forms of magical and profound sword moves with endless variations, he was dumbfounded. If he hadn't seen them with his own eyes, he would never have believed that such brilliant and fluctuating moves actually existed in the world. Hey Losh, oh, thanks for the $10. Thanks so much. That's very generous of you. The mochi's on you? Okay, awesome. No, really, thanks so much. Once decided, he immediately started reading and memorizing. Even though the other figure in the drawings had already defeated every move of the Hangshang sword art, thinking that Tian Guang would have no chance of knowing any of those techniques, he wasn't worried at all. He worked on memorizing all the techniques while trying them out with his hands, and after he had learned about 20 or so moves, an hour had already passed. He stayed in there for an hour. Tian Guang's voice rose from outside the cave. Brother Ling Hu, if you don't come out now, I am going to charge in now. Ling Hucheng leapt out with his sword in his hand and shouted, Fine, let me take another 30 moves of yours. So, Brother Ling Hu, what if you lose again this time? Tian Guang asked with a beam. At least it wouldn't be the first loss for me. Just one more loss, no big deal. Before he even finished talking, he had already launched a storm of attacks with 7 continuous moves. All those 7 moves were ones he had newly learned from the rock wall in the back cave, and all of them were fluctuating and unpredictable to the extreme. Tian Guang had not expected such unpredictable variations from Huashan-style sword art. Caught in a surprise, he had to take one step back after another. When it was the 10th move, still being greatly amazed, he roared loudly and waved his knife to start his counterattack. He had great strength with his knife chops, which prevented Ling Hucheng from executing many of the variations in his sword moves. At the 19th move, the two weapons clashed, and Ling Hucheng's longsword was once again knocked out of his grip. Ling Hucheng leapt 2 steps to the side and shouted, Brother Tian, you only have stronger arms than me. You didn't win with your knife moves. I am still not convinced this time. Let me figure out another 30 sword moves, and then I'll fight you again. Your master is still 150 miles away at this very moment, searching for traces of me. He probably won't make it back to Mount Huashan for another 10 to 15 days. This delaying strategy of yours is not gonna work, Tian Guang said with a smirk. Who said that I have to rely on my master to take care of you? I just recovered from my illness, and I am very weak in my strength. That's how you got the advantage. If we are only comparing our moves, you think I can't even block 30 moves of yours? I don't think so. I'm not going to fall for you again. Either I win by knife moves or by arm strength. A win is a win, and a loss is a loss. What good does it do to find all the excuses? Tian Guang disagreed. Fine, you wait for me here. Be a true man. Don't you get scared and decide to run away. But if you do, I won't be chasing after you, Ling Hucheng said. Tian Guang burst into loud laughter. He took 2 steps back and sat on a big rock. Oh hey, Soro Iri. Thanks for the super chat. Like you've been doing I think you've been donating like the past couple of streams. Like thanks so much. Oh no, is it buffering? No. think I just have a shitty computer. Let me try something. All right. Hopes it stops buffering. Ling Huchong went back into the back cave. He figured Tian Boguang has fought priest Tian Song of the Taishan sword school before, and also wounded him quite good. He has also fought with apprentice sister Yi Lin of the Hangshang sword school, and I just fought him using the Hangshang style sword art. He probably doesn't know anything about the Songshang style sword art. He found the drawings of the Songshang school's sword moves and learned about 10 moves or so. I still have over 10 Hangshan style lethal moves that I didn't have a chance to use earlier, he thought to himself. If I mix them up in Songshan style sword art moves and then use several moves of my own sword school all of a sudden, I might be able to really confuse the hell out of him. He didn't even wait for Tian Boguang to call for him and rushed straight into the fight as soon as he went out of the cave. The sword moves he used would be a minute in Songshang style, the next minute in Hangshang style, with Huashan style deadly moves mixed up in between. Oh, I forgot, we have sound effects. What? Weird! This is so weird! Tian Boguang kept yelling out loud, but on the 22nd move, he was still able to place the blade of his knife right next to Ling Huchong's neck, and forced him to throw down his sword. In the first time, I was only able to take on 5 moves of yours, but after I thought about it for a little while, I was able to take on 18 moves of yours. After thinking for another while, I was already able to take on 21 moves of yours. Brother Tian, aren't you a bit scared by now? Ling Huchong asked. Why should I be scared? Tian Boguang beamed. If I keep on pondering over it and thinking a couple more times, then I will be able to take on 30 of your moves. And after thinking some more, I will be able to turn the tide and claim victory. Even if I decide not to kill you, wouldn't it be terrible for you? Ling Huchong deduced. I have been wandering around the martial world for many years, and Brother Ling Hu, you are certainly the smartest one out of all the adversaries I ever had. It's a pity that your kung fu is still a good deal far too lower than mine. Say that you can progress really fast, but it will still be impossible for you to defeat me within hours, Tian Boguang claimed.